Today on my table, the ZV-1, the first camera Sony is dedicating to vloggers. Hi guys, I'm Johnny from Cinema 5D, and today on my table is the new Sony ZV-1. This is a camera that Sony is dedicating for vloggers. As you can see, this is the box and you can't go wrong with what is written here. I'm actually recording right into the camera, and I'm not a vlogger per se, meaning maybe I'm a bit too old, maybe not that good looking, and of course I lack this special Canadian accent. But all in all, I find myself occasionally in front of the camera, and as such I do need a tool that I can rely on. So when vlogging, what am I looking for? Here, in no particular order, what's the things that I do think are most important. I want good stabilization system, I want a good autofocus, good audio, and I want a general operation, like the handling of the camera to be quite good. When it comes to the actual video quality, it's somehow similar to the RX107, but Sony included some additional features that will help vloggers. Let's see what the ZV-1 has to offer. First of all, background. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not really separated from the background, and all I have to do is press a button here on top of the camera and magic. My background is now blurred. What it does, it's opening the aperture of the lens to its maximum, and somehow, because I'm right now on automatic mode, it's compensating on other parts of the image. And of course, this is helping a little bit to isolate the subject from here, and the aesthetic is just nicer. The other thing that associated very much with vloggers, this movement? This and this. Sony created a new product showcase button. All you have to do is press the C2 button, and that will help in achieving very fast focus change. Good, what else? When it comes to audio, so I'm recording everything now on camera, meaning I don't have any microphone on me. And what it has 3 directional microphones and a windshield. Even if it's a bit of a windy day, I think you can still hear me quite nice. Oh, now I can feel the breeze. I really wonder how it sounds. I say wonder because one of the obstacles with the camera, it doesn't have a headphone jack, so I can't really monitor the audio. What it does have, I can connect an external microphone, and I can also monitor the actual levels on the LCD screen right here. Audio is controlled only manually, so this is of course very, very nice, but at times I would love to have automatic leveling, because simply, you just want to start the camera, you want to start to talk, you don't want to worry too much. So it doesn't matter on which video mode you are, you cannot control the sound level automatically. This is something to know. Let's talk a little bit about the handling. So first of all, unlike the RX107, the ZV-1 now has a grip, and this grip, of course, it's really, really nice, it's really, really handy. The camera feels much better in the hand. Second thing, it has a little red light, and this red light helps a lot to see if the camera is actually recording. When it comes to external powering, you can power the camera externally. Actually, this is what I'm doing right now, because the battery life of the camera not that great. Well, it's a small camera and it's a very small battery, so I'm sure you're gonna need few batteries or at least external power bank. Another thing that is nice, if you're editing the footage on a not so modern laptop, you can record proxy files simultaneously, meaning you have the main file and something which is a bit reduced in quality, so you can first edit the reduced quality and then change the files. So this is another nice feature. When it comes to stabilization, you have 2 modes. One is standard and the other one is more active. Please note that the active one will crop into the picture, so it really depends on your shooting style and how much crop you actually want to implement. Well, no doubt that the active stabilization is the best. I'll try to run a little bit just to see how it works. There's nothing like jogging. 1 second. I'm getting old. When it comes to video mode, I would suggest when you are vlogging just to set the camera on this kind of video intelligent. I think it's doing a good job altogether in compensating and helping you to get a good result and not to worry too much. You just want to vlog and talk to the camera. If you need to be more creative, then of course you can move to manual, and that's another thing that Sony did very well. It might sound a bit funny, but on one hand you have the vloggers, and on the other hand I think this camera can be a professional working tool. And when I say a professional working tool, I mean it will be really nice to have that in the bag as a B, C, D camera, doesn't matter, but for the price and what it can offer, it's really a great value for money. Meaning you do have the S-Log2, S-Log3, hybrid low gamma, or what we call HLG, all those little picture profiles, including the built-in ND filter. I think it makes it like a very valuable tool in case you are in a place that you can't really appear with a big camera, or you just need something very specific. And again, you know, it's all about the possibilities and the flexibility. So I think that camera can really serve us well. In that regards, it's doing a better job than the RX 107. So before it gets too windy, let me wrap it up with my final thoughts. The ZV-1 is a very interesting combination between the RX 105 and the RX 107. From the RX 105, seems like Sony took the sensor and the optical block, because the lens is the same, it's 24 to 70 millimeters, and the aperture goes from 1.8 to 2.8. From the RX 107, Sony took the processor, the very fast processor. And this processor also allows very fast shooting. When you take photos, you can shoot up to, let's say, 24 frames per second, up to 170 shots. By the way, that could be quite interesting to see if that works also for video, meaning maybe we can get higher resolution than 4K and have a whole sequence of up to 7 seconds. Yeah, this is something to test. Unfortunately, I didn't really have the time to do this this time. When it comes to the ND filter, if you're shooting an S-Log2 and the native ISO is 1000, it can be that the ND filter is simply not strong enough to compensate on light. One of the things that I really liked in this camera is how responsive the touch screen autofocus is. If you are on autofocus continuous, you can override this function by touching the screen, and then you can change between two focus points, and you can also time it if you want it to be very fast or slow. Now, by default, the camera is limited to 5 minutes recording time in 4K mode. This is in order to protect the camera from overheating, but this can be changed if you go to the menu under the power section. If you change it to high, then the camera can record up to 30 minutes of video in 4K. In the next generation of those vlogging cameras, I hope to see a USB-C instead of the micro USB that we have in this camera. I guess it's a matter of compatibility with their hand grips, but for the future, especially in times like this when people are looking for a device that they can connect to their laptop and stream from home, I guess if you're a vlogger and you want a more complete solution, a USB-C connector will be much appreciated. Also, for me personally, I would love to see an external EVF. In this particular camera, there is no way to connect an external EVF. Personally, I would have loved to see EVF in that camera. It's just easier for me to judge exposure. One word concerning the audio in this video when I'm talking to the camera. So everything is recorded with the built-in microphone, and I did apply 20% noise reduction in order to make it a bit easier for you guys to understand what I'm saying. Let's see how is the natural sound is. 1 second please. Yeah, so now you can hear it's a little bit noisier, of course, but still I think it's a very demanding surrounding. It's windy and there's some background noise. It's very open here. Maybe in a room it will be okay to work without any noise reduction, but here I think it's a necessity. Wait. Yeah, so now you can hear it's a bit cleaner and it's a bit easier to understand and concentrate on what I say. So to conclude, the Sony ZV-1 is a lightweight, compact, well-built camera. If you're a vlogger, it might be a tool that can enhance your workflow. If you're a documentary filmmaker, maybe this is the camera you want to throw in the bag as a BCD camera. It can help you in places when you can not really shoot with bigger cameras. In any way, it's a legit device to explore. Guys, thank you very much for watching the video, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you. Actually, I forgot, there is also a soft skin effect. This is new and that will work only in HD. I guess I will wait for the Shave Plus one.